Good morning, this is Kellaland on the Go, with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A Valley Springs woman is behind bars accused of stabbing a woman.
Sioux Falls police arrested 24-year-old Kendra Warner for aggravated assault Friday night. Authorities say officers were called to a business in the area of 57th and Marion around 8:30.
An employee reported that a woman was sitting in a car with a stab wound and the suspect was in the business. Police say the two got into a fight and Warner allegedly pulled out her knife and stabbed the 49-year-old. The victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
On Monday, a judge sentenced one of the two men charged in the Dunham Park shooting in Sioux Falls to 15 years in prison.
Walter Stewart pleaded guilty to manslaughter in a plea deal with prosecutors. Stewart was one of the two men accused of shooting Joshua Allen, who died from his injuries.
In exchange for the deal, he agreed to testify against the other suspect in the case, Lamont Burks Jr. Earlier this month, after a 2-week trial, a jury found Burks guilty of aggravated assault, but not murder.
The cleanup continues this morning in Highmore after severe storms left extensive damage across the community.
Residents say while the destruction is widespread, so is the support. Chainsaws, skid loaders, and dump trucks filled the streets Monday as neighbors worked side by side clearing debris.
Resident Amanda Brown says help started arriving almost immediately.
We're going to neighbors and we're bringing rakes and kids to help clean up debris, and everyone's just coming together and the community is working together really well. So we appreciate that. I think our community is a great place.
Officials are asking people to stay away from damaged areas while crews work to clear debris and restore power.
I'm just going to check now on our weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Good morning, Brian.
All right, good morning. A lot of storm cleanup continues. It's going to be a lot of recovery there for folks hit by those storms yesterday. Today, I do expect the weather to be quiet. Our upfront forecast, we're up to 90 today in Sioux Falls, 87 degrees in Aberdeen, 87 in Pierre, and 87 in Rapid City. We do expect more thunderstorms late tonight, tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about that. We'll get into the rest of our forecast, all coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Brian. Throughout history, agriculture has always played an important role.
As South Dakota's #1 industry, so much of our state has been shaped by farmers. As Kellaland celebrates 250, we're hearing from two generational farmers about what that history means to them.
Earlier this year, we spoke to Tanner Hento near Avon. He's a 5th-generation farmer who says he feels a lot of gratitude for those who came before him.
One thing a lot of people don't know or maybe don't realize that is really integrated in farming is how often we reflect on the generations that came before us. You know, walking out here in the fields, like I see my dad still. I see my grandfather, and I see everything that they built.
We also spoke to Jordan Scott, another 5th-generation farmer near Valley Springs. To hear his thoughts on the history of his land, visit this story on Kellaland.com.
A newly retired teacher from the Sioux Falls Career and Technical Academy will continue her skills at a new cafe in western Sioux Falls.
Zest Social House will feature specialty toast sandwiches, coffee, and ice cream. From a coffee company in Sioux City to a creamery in South Dakota, owner Janelle Wempner is keeping her ingredients local.
And then ice cream, we're working with Farm Life Creamery in Ethan, South Dakota, and they are getting us not only our ice cream, but our milk for our lattes, and it's delicious. People might be familiar with it from the farmers market.
The restaurant sits on West 12th Street near Ellis Road, the former site of Dunn Brothers Coffee. Zest will open this morning with a full menu with drive-through service coming soon.
You can read more about the menu and the business's origin in a Kellaland.com original from Marissa Brunkhorst.
The Bishop Dudley Hospitality House in Sioux Falls is seeing more people coming through the doors to escape the heat and humidity. The staff makes sure the guests are staying hydrated with free bottles of water.
The air-conditioned surroundings offer much-needed relief for people doing their best to keep cool.
I wear a headband so I keep it wet, or you know, I don't know, I wear shorts, tank tops, stuff like that. You know, every now and then I get to pass by a fan, so it works.
The Salvation Army has opened its cooling center on North Cliff Avenue that also includes free bottled water and snacks.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, watching your weather for tonight and early tomorrow morning. Looks like we're going to be back into some more thunderstorms. Now, right now, a couple things. There's a marginal risk in green, slight risk in yellow. That slight risk does include Sioux Falls, Yankton, and Sioux City. We'll get a new update on this map. This will actually come out closer to midday, so we'll check in on that scenario. Let's kind of paint the picture here for you as we go into the next cycle of weather. Today, of course, we've had thunderstorms last night, and we've been recapping that story with storms in northwest Iowa that produced some damaging wind, a little bit of that east of Worthington too, and obviously some much needed rain though in some spots that could really use it down toward Vermilion. I don't think we're going to see much on radar, though, this afternoon. A lot of us will be near 90 Sioux Falls, mid to upper 80s from Aberdeen to Pierre. Tonight, let's watch radar again. I think we're going to start to see more action in the northern part of Nebraska. There could be a few cells in western South Dakota, but see how the radar looks more active at night. And we keep talking about that, nocturnal thunderstorms, and looks like this kind of bleeds off into the first thing tomorrow morning, kind of a broken line or some sort of a piece there that moves from Huron to Sioux Falls to northwest Iowa. Anybody along that path could be looking at some embedded severe weather, so that'll be again at 4 in the morning till probably at least 7 or 8. Then it tends to kind of break up during the day. So then we go back to this. We're into the 80s, a few 90s in the southeast. Late in the afternoon, there could be a few thunderstorms in western South Dakota Wednesday evening. Wednesday night doesn't look quite as widespread, but there certainly are some hints of more thunderstorms in western Minnesota, for example. I still think we'll probably switch gears on Thursday, and then we're going to be looking at the cycle of more organized severe weather. This is already looking more of a footprint. You can see that across South Dakota Thursday, late afternoon, Thursday night. You got a low pressure center moving in from the west. That's the surface map. And that warm front there, conjunction with the low to the west, is likely going to produce some feature moving from west to east. Our first thought is kind of a line of some severe thunderstorms. And of course, a lot of that's late, isn't it? That's an 11 o'clock weather map. I'm not fixated on the exact details, but this concept, that's kind of the idea that something's going to come in from the northwest and move towards Sioux Falls. Probably after midnight would be the most likely scenario on something like that. So keep your weather radio handy too. Do you have a weather radio? That's a great way to get alerts on the overnight when you're sleeping, and if you're a deep sleeper, those things will wake you up. Your phones, obviously, too. I know many people are chimed in on the Storm Tracker app and other ways to get warnings, but make sure you've got, multiple ways to get warnings. That's a smart idea this time of year, especially when we have to deal with nocturnal storms, and time of day is a little bit different than sometimes what we traditionally talk about. And we're in the 90s in Sioux Falls, so our daytime forecasts we think are going to still be plenty warm. Aberdeen too will be plenty warm as we end the week. We've got some more 90s coming back, but we'll be mindful for thunderstorms at night. And I think for Pierre and Rapid City that Thursday, but you saw on Futurecast, we've got tonight and tomorrow there in the forecast. That Thursday is a 40%, Friday's a 40%, and it looks like right now Rapid City will play out that same idea. So some thunderstorm chances are still going to be around. Check out much more on the weather at KETLELAND.com.